Good afternoon, all of you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Myself Jitendra Kumar Singh, today's resource person, and my topic is differentiate between living things and non-living things. We all know that we all human beings and plants are living things, and you can see in this class some things are living and some things are non-living. Suppose that me as a human being, as a man, I am a living thing, and you can see that this duster, it is a non-living thing. Okay. We living things have some special functions, some special things, but non-living things do not have. Living things need food to grow, but non-living things do not need food to grow. See, either living things or non-living things, they both are made up of matter, and they occupy space. Wherever they are, either living or non-living, they take the space. If I am standing over here, I am taking the space. If this particular chalk, if we keep it in a particular place, it takes the space. And all living things are made up of cells, and the living things, non-living things, are made up of molecules. Non-living things cannot take food, do not take food, but we living things take food. Characteristics, there are many characteristics between living things and non-living things. Living things move from one place to another in search of food, like animals, human beings. We do not make our own food, we depend on plants. Plants is also a living thing, but they prepare their own food. That is why we call them autotrophs. And animals and we human beings do not make our own food. That is why we call heterotrophs. In some of the plants cannot move from one place to another in search of food and shelter, but we all living things move for food and shelter. But in some plants have seen, like mimosa plant, we say that touch me not. When we touch it, it just react it. Then it shows that living things in plants have some movement. Okay. At first also I have told that living things are made up of cells. Okay. And some living things are there that made up of unicellular, and some living things are there which are multicellular. Okay. Then which living things are made up of, which are unicellular and which are multicellular? The things which are made up of single cell, it is called unicellular, and the things which are made up of multi-cell means many cells, they are called multicellular. For example, we can take that unicellular means made up of single cell, amoeba, it is a hydra and etc. Okay, and multicellular, we are living beings. Okay. Living things respire. Respiration. Living things breathe. Non-living things do not breathe. Living things excrete. We take food. Excretion has been seen in living things. Okay. In plants also we have seen excretion. If there is lots of water in plants, we have seen that they excrete water. From where? From leaves. There is a stomata present in leaf from where the plants excrete. Okay. Living things reproduce. Living things reproduce. Non-living things do not reproduce. See, this is a duster. It is a non-living thing, and myself living things. Living thing. I can reproduce, I can respire, I can take food. In me, reproduction has been seen. Okay. But in it, no reproduction. No reproduction has been seen. There are so many species of animals and plants. So many species. I think almost 4 lakh species of animals are there. And about in 16 lakh in animals and 4 lakh in plants there are species. So I want to ask about something about living and non-living things. So Anupma ma'am, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. The basic things, the difference between the living and non-living thing is first one, according to me, that is giving birth to their own kind, their own offspring. That is called, that process is called reproduction. Reproduction is the most important sign of living things, what a non-living things never do. Second one is respiration. We all living things respire, but non-living things, they don't respire. We living things require food for getting energy, and these non-living things, they don't require food. And when we will take food, excretion will also be there. So excretion and giving, but if you are asked that, tell me the one sign, then reproduction is the first sign, because there are many things, and these days so many experiments are going on which has found that many plants, they have also feelings. So in many ways living things and non-living things are different, but giving birth to their own offspring is the main sign of living and non.
Okay. So according to Anupma ma'am, she told us that there are different types of differences, or we can say differentiation between living and non-living things. But the main thing is the reproduction. Reproduction is the main which is seen among plants and animals. Okay. So I would like to request you guys to say something about it.
Yeah, your topic is difference between living and non-living things. Of course, we are living things because we can grow, we can reproduce, we can walk, and non-living things are those which cannot reproduce, which cannot grow, and which cannot live. Okay. Then living things may be multicellular and unicellular, as you have talked about this. Many living things are unicellular, like amoeba, paramecium, bacteria, virus, and many living things are multicellular, like human beings. Okay, and all living things like unicellular, multicellular, living together in this environment and form ecosystems. Okay, so there is a basic need of a unicellular organism and unicellular living things in our environment, like in agriculture. You know very well the agriculture is. Many unicellular organisms are used in the agriculture to increase the fertility of the soil. Hence, we can say that.
So now you guys has told the most important thing that we both of us, living and non-living, we live in this environment. Is the main point that he has told to us. So, and we all know that in living and non-living things, there are many differences. We know that we can move from one place to another, but these non-living things do not. We move in for any work from one place to another, but they do not. But we have seen that in some plants, movement has been seen, like our sunflower. They turn according to the light of the sun. Yes, Anupama ma'am.
Motion is never considered under the difference between living and non-living things, because most of the plants, they do not replace their place, they don't move, so it doesn't come.
The
Differences.
movement of part.
Yes, movement. Very few plants they can move. They show the movement, as you said that the touch-me-not flower. So they are exceptional. Okay, but most of the plants they don't move. So motion never comes under the differences between living and non-living things. But respiration, that is very most important point, because all the living things they need respiration, they do respiration, but any of the non-living things they don't respire. So respiration, need of food. All living things, doesn't matter plants or animals, but they all require food. The substances are different. In anyhow, they need food for grow. Yes, and the main point, living things always grow, but non-living things they don't grow. So these are the most important things. Yes, but motion, we never consider motion under differences.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to ask something about living and non-living things from our senior sir is present over here, Mr. Randy sir, to say something.
Good afternoon. Today's topic is differentiate between living and non-living things. To make this world very beautiful, we need both living and non-living things. It means our world is a unique planet, and to decorate and make this world very beautiful, living and non-living things have a great role to maintain the ecosystem and also to maintain the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases. We all know that all living things need oxygen to breathe, and also they release carbon dioxide gas. And we all know that plants are also living things, but they absorb, they take carbon dioxide gas and release oxygen gas. In this way, our nature has created these all things to maintain the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. If there is at any place there becomes unbalance between oxygen gas and CO2 gas, it means there will be a great hindrance created at that place. It means we all know that there are some special features of living and non-living things. We all know that all living things need food, and also there is fire, and also they reproduce. It means in this way it is the law of our nature that to produce any living things of the same shape and size, then this process is known as reproduction in biology. It means it is very, very essential. Reproduction. It means without reproduction we cannot see the green and beautiful world. It means each and every living things are in favor of producing their kids, and also they love them. And also we need non-living things. Without non-living things, how can I expect that? Also we know that mountains, water, air are non-living things. But what has its importance in our life we can observe all. It means in this way, to make this world wonderful, beautiful, we need both living and non-living things. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. We will clap for Mandeep sir. कुछ बोल रहा है? Okay. Very good, sir. You have explained very good that living things respire, reproduction has been seen, and if there some living things are there, that water, air, if there is no water and air, they are living non-living things, we totally all living things depend upon them. So they are also very important and they play important role in our life. Okay. So I would like to ask something about living and non-living things. Our Pandey sir. So Pandey sir, if you want to say something.
Good afternoon, all of you.
Good afternoon. As Jitendra sir, you are teaching about differentiate between the living things and non-living things. But when we go to the class and we start to teach students about these things and try to differentiate between them, we should give many examples, like duster, as you showed duster, and ourselves also. We should say that these things cannot reproduce, cannot take food, cannot take breath, etc. And we take breath, food, and do movement also. But students can ask question that to show the number of copies, number of books, that they are many in number, and also we are in many number. How can we differentiate or make difference between living and non-living things? So by giving these examples as you taught, these characteristics of living things and non-living things, we can make them assure and we can satisfy them about living and non-living things. Thank you.
Well, you have said that in class we can explain with their books and notebooks. They are also the example of non-living things, and we are too. So next I would like to say something about Seema ma'am. Would you like to say something?
गुड आफ्टरनून टू ऑल ऑफ यू। जैसे सर ने बताया कि यहाँ पे बहुत सारे हमारे पास है कि लिविंग थिंग और नॉन लिविंग थिंग में डिफरेंस है, जिसमें सबसे जो मस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट इन दोनों के मतलब दोनों को डिफ्रेंशिएट करने का बेस है, दैट इज़ द रिप्रोडक्शन अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, बिकॉज लिविंग थिंग्स हैव द कैपेसिटी टू रिप्रोड्यूस। रिप्रोड्यूस मीन्स री अगेन एंड अगेन, दैट प्रोसेस आर रिपीटेड each and every time, that is called the reproduction, but that capacities are not in the non-living things. And there are other bases that we have differentiate living thing and non-living thing, just like sir ने भी example दिया था motion का, but that case is the exceptional for not everyone, but some cases are also most important for the differentiate living and non-living. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You have said well. Okay, so Rahul sir, say something about your expression towards living and non-living things.
Thank you, sir, for giving me a chance to say about the difference between the living things and non-living things. Just like this is the pen, okay, and we can say this is the non-living things, and just like this is the my sir, Yuvraj sir, this is the living things. मतलब ऐसे हम बच्चों को बता सकते हैं, जैसे तुम्हारे हाथ में जो ये हमारे हाथ में पेन है, ये नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स है, हम जो है वो लिविंग थिंग्स हैं। जितने भी तुम्हारे प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है, जैसे मान लीजिए कोई क्रॉप्स हो गया, प्लांट्स हो गए, फिर बैक्टीरिया हो गए, इस तरह से आपको उसको समझा देंगे हमारी ये लिविंग थिंग्स हैं। जो आपकी हमारे यहाँ पर जो ट्रीज हो गए, ट्रीज को काटने के बाद, जब ट्रीज को काटने के बाद जब वो एक तरह से सूखा हो जाता है तो हमारे लिविंग थिंग्स का एग्जाम्पल बन जाते हैं। इस तरह से कह सकते हैं कि लिविंग थिंग्स और नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स हमारे सराउंडिंग में बहुत सारा एग्जाम्पल्स हैं। ठीक, हम जिस बेंच पर बैठे हुए अभी हमारा नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स हैं, जिस हम लोग पेपर का यूज कर रहे हैं अभी हमारा नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स हैं। बेसिकली जो लिविंग थिंग्स ही बना हुआ है, मान लीजिए पेपर बना हुआ है हमारा कोई ना कोई वुड से, है ना, जंगली जो हमारी लकड़ी होती है उससे बना हुआ है, जबकि वो कटने के बाद ही फिर इसका जो प्रोसेस हुआ है बनने पे हमारा लिविंग थिंग्स हो गया। तो मतलब कि हम बच्चों को बहुत अच्छे ढंग से समझा देते हैं, बच्चों भी आई थिंक समझ जाते हैं कि हमारे लिविंग थिंग्स और नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स में डिफरेंट क्या है। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, sir. Well said. That for example of paper and notebook, when we are explaining to the students about the living and non-living things, the example of paper, it has came from non-living things, but after manufacturing it, it is now become a non-living thing. So next I would like to ask something about living and non-living things from Anupama ma'am. She wants to say something.
One more point came in my mind,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
is the most important difference between living thing and non-living thing, that is sensation.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sensory organs, we have. The living things are having sense organs and sensory organs, but these living things, they lack. That is, they are lacking sensation. So this is the very important difference between living thing and non-living thing. And there are many things we can accumulate, but these are very important, which clearly says the differences between living and non-living. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
बहुत सुंदर।
Well, so, Anupama ma'am has just now she has said that there is a very important point about between living and non-living thing, that sensory. The living things have sensation, but if somebody pinch us, we feel it, sensation. But in living things, see, this is a bench. If I beat it, sound comes. Production of sound is there, but no sensation is there. But if somebody beat us, then there is a sound also, and there is a change of sensation. So next is Anita ma'am. If you want to say something about living things and non-living things, you can.
लिविंग एंड नॉन लिविंग इट मीन्स सजीव और निर्जीव वस्तुएं। सजीव वस्तुएं जिसमें जो सांस ले सकती हैं, इसमें फीलिंग एहसास हो सकता है, जो खुद ब खुद अपना ऑटोमेटिक अपना काम कर सकते हैं। और नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स जो कुछ नहीं कर सकते। जैसे चोट, सपोज हमने इससे, सपोज ये बेंच है, इसको मैंने यहाँ से उठाया, जैसे कितना भी इस पर डस्टर पीटा, इससे दर्द तो नहीं हुआ, बट हमें कोई पिंच करता है, कोई मारता है तो हमें थोड़ा सा दर्द होता है, एहसास होता है।
Okay, ma'am. Anil sir, say something about living and non-living things.
Good afternoon. Today's topic living and non-living. As some types of things in nature, that just like virus, is a middle in living things and non-living. एंड जैसा कि हम जानते हैं कि लिविंग थिंग्स और नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स में बहुत सारे डिफरेंसेज है। रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम है, रिप्रोडक्शन सिस्टम है, तो लिविंग थिंग्स में बहुत सारे सिस्टम, लेकिन नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स जो है वो सारे जो सिस्टम है वो सपोर्ट नहीं करता। और ख़ासकर एक रिप्रोडक्शन का जो इशू है, तो कोई भी लिविंग थिंग्स अपने जैसा दूसरा बना सकता है, पैदा करता है, प्रोडक्ट करता है नेचर में, लेकिन नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स कभी भी अपने जैसा कोई पैदा नहीं करता। और सिस्टेटिव का पोजीशन है, तो आज जो साइंस इतना डेवलप कर गया, ऐसे बहुत सारे सिस्टेटिव हमारे पास अपरेटस है जो मैन से भी और एक सिंपल लिविंग थिंग से भी ज़्यादा उनमें है। लेकिन प्रोडक्शन अभी तक, रिप्रोडक्शन का जो इशू है, अभी भी लिविंग थिंग्स और नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स एक बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंसेज है, जो कि नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स में अभी तक नहीं हो पाया है। और जो हमारे साइंटिस्ट हैं, उस पर रिसर्चर हैं, बहुत सारे ऐसे रोबोट पैदा कर रहे हैं जस्ट लाइक ए लिविंग थिंग्स की तरह वो वर्क कर सकते हैं। और आगे भी संभावना है कि उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा डेवलप होने की चांसेज है, बट अभी तक एक नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स और लिविंग थिंग्स में बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस है कि अभी तक कोई रिप्रोडक्शन। तो मैं इतना ही कहूँ।
Well said by our Anil says that the main thing is that reproduction. That reproduction is seen only in living things, that they reproduce their offspring, but there is no reproduction is seen in non-living things. Okay, sir?
One more point I would like to say.
Anupama ma'am? Okay, if you want to say something, you can.
One more point hunting in my mind, that is death. All the living things who have taken birth, they have to be dead. One day they all have to dead. But the living or non-living things, they can be ruined, spoiled, destroyed. But or maybe for a long time they will go. We don't know how long they will continue. But all the living things, radiation can be seen in duration. How much time they will take? But it is truth, universal truth, that all the living things has to be dead one day. So death is the main differences between living and non-living.
Okay, well said by our Anupama ma'am, that differentiates between living and non-living. That living things have lifespan. They have lifespan, and non-living things do not have lifespan. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.
आपको क्या लगता है लोग